Hey guys, and welcome to Armchair Conversations with Rob. A little bit ago, I did a talk about some basic concepts surrounding energy, in particular what you put out and what you attract back, and how some of the things that you do, say, and think will affect how either side of that equation goes. And then I got a question about um, basically, I got a question regarding how that affects you in terms of transmission, like what you put out into the world. Particularly with regard to um, positivity. And I got a little side note to throw out at that one. And here's the way it goes. Physiology, a lot of times, which is how you hold your body, how you speak, how you stand, how you sit, how you walk, how you talk, um, facial expressions, even, and your willingness to laugh or not, all mirror your psychology. Um, Tends to be almost interchangeable. One can start the process on the other, because they asked me about the fact that what I said about how you move can change how it can do something with how you think. So basically, let's put it to you a couple of ways. If I am, or if you go and you see me and I am sitting up and I am very straight back, and my mannerism is tall, extended, my smile is there, the twinkle is in my eye, and I'm speaking with some pride and force and some passion about what I'm talking about. Do you think that you're going to not only look at me and judge me a certain way, but that I might actually feel a certain way when I do that? Because a lot of times people will not make the correlation that how you behave, even when maybe you don't feel a certain way, will change it. And how you move and how you breathe and all those things will affect how you think about yourself and about the world. And then that, of course, will start the cycle again, so that you do different actions that might reap different rewards and results, versus going the opposite way and feeling a certain way. Then the body will take on that characteristic as well. I just think that they're interchangeable. So for example, if I sit up this way, and if you're out there in video land, sit up straight, bring it in, take deep breaths, speak with some force and some clarity, and say things like, I feel good, or whatever your opinion is about whatever, and pay attention to how you feel. This is actually an old concept from a science, well, they call it a science called neuro-linguistic programming. And they basically, their whole theory was that physiology and psychology are related, that one mirrors the other. So again, sit up tall, extend yourself. Don't hide away. Don't tuck your head in. Don't tuck your chin. Don't bring your eyes down. But sit up and talk and breathe and speak with clarity and passion and affirmativeness, and see how you feel. Or try just smiling for, a few minutes, straight, just smiling and thinking about something in your thought pattern that was happy at one time, and see if it kind of changes your state if you're not in a good one right now in particular. And breathe the way you'd be breathing if you had total control over everything and everything was wonderful, however that may be. And see if in a couple of minutes, because it's not an instant thing, but in a couple of minutes you don't feel better. You don't begin to feel better, even if you weren't feeling so great before, because that physiology causes chemicals to be released in the brain that will help you to think in the ways that are going to match what your body says. Okay, by the same token, if you're feeling crappy, if you're feeling sad or down, what does your body normally do? Where are your shoulders? Down. You kind of look down, and your voice really doesn't have a lot of authority. There's no affirmativeness or no passion in your voice, because you're just, and even your breathing is, I guess so. I don't know. Whatever. Of course. I mean, does it not make sense that if you did that for long enough, you would begin to feel that way? And if you think that way, that is why your body takes on those characteristics. And if you go out somewhere and you look at two different people who have those differences of physiology, you're going to think totally different thoughts about the one than you do of the other. Um, that's going to color what you do. Even if you're crisscross, let's say if you're a mismatched person, you're the kind of person that hates happy people. You see that person that's happy, you're going to feel and have a physiological reaction toward that person because of your bias. By the same token, if you're a person who tends to be more of a caregiver or tries to nurture people, then you may take pity upon the person who's slumped and who's sad. But either way, it's going to elicit a response. And that's a very simple example of what I'm talking about as far as what you put out and what you attract back to you. You know, if you're jovial and happy and positive and strong and tall and expanded, people who are strong, tall, and expanded who want that in their lives and who are attracted to that, and even people who are not that way but are attracted to that are going to come into your circle to want to be around you, to be share your space in your life. Versus if you're sad and dumpy and blah, people who want that, see that, are attracted to that are going to come into your space as well. And so that's just a simple explanation, a little more in detail about physiology and psychology and what those mean in terms of the energy you put out versus the energy you attract. So hope you like that one, and hopefully that answered the question. And again, I appreciate all the feedback and comments and questions. So thank you very much for sharing my armchair. And again, if you like me, subscribe. If you don't, that's what search engines are for. So until then, just be aware and move through life, do something. And thank you for sharing my armchair.